Hello. It is Thursday. I'm outside. I'm at this cadence with my garden right now where I'm out here like multiple times throughout the day checking on stuff because of the heat, you know, just monitoring soil, any pests, whatever. So yeah, but because I'm out here, I've also officially transitioned to wearing just swimsuits and shorts as outfits because I figure if I'm gonna be out here, might as well like get a bit of a tan. I've been asking on stories for like bikini options because my I have one pieces like exclusively, and I have cute one pieces, but like, you know, I spent some serious money on getting my stomach fixed, so like I'd like to wear a bikini. Anyway, so it is Thursday and this is the first day I've vlogged, so I wanted to kind of check in. I did order some stuff yesterday. I just got like what is it called, the Pura, like a home, you know, fragrance thing, because if you are new to my channel, I really like candles like every other woman in America. Because of Rona, I can't go buy candles, so I just haven't been burning them, and I think I'm noticing psychologically the effect of that, so I wanted to remedy it. And I've been seeing a lot of Pura stuff, and it read a little like MLM to me at first, so I kind of held off on it, but now I've confirmed it as not one. So I went ahead and I placed an order yesterday, so when it comes in, I'll show you all that. But other than that, I think I got groceries. I think I'm actually gonna do like a quarantine grocery video. If y'all are interested in that, let me know. Last night I got, Peloton apparently gave me an early birthday present, and it was a night of Britney. So I did a warm up, a ride, and arms, all Britney and Cody. So that was awesome. That, and I feel like I'm really discovering that like, I'm very anti-Drunk Elephant. I know this is like a total topic shift. As a brand, I'm very opposed to Drunk Elephant. I have been for years. And I've just kind of recently discovered like people are starting to notice why that brand sucks. So they're like late to the game, but still better late than never. So that's been an interesting part of my day. And then I was also noticing people were misunderstanding what my job was, and they thought I was part of an MLM, which I'm like violently opposed to. So I've been doing some research on that, and I already don't like MLMs, but like I'm so disgusted by them lately. Just in like some of the research I've had to do, just because like they've taken my terminology, it's like words I actually should be using to describe myself professionally, they've bastardized. So it's really challenging. So I was doing some research on like, okay, well, how are you like basically misappropriating my terminology so I can pivot correctly, right? Because at the end of the day, I still do this for a living. I am still a skincare expert. But like coach and beauty and skincare and, you know, business owner, all that shit's been hijacked. So it's just like, what the hell? What am I supposed to say? You know? Anyway, it's been a bit of a week, but at the same time, not one worth vlogging. There's been a ton of progress made this week. I have spent a lot of time outside this week. So I want to show you the garden, and I also want to show you a bunch of the newness because we've been busy. Let's start with what you expect to see. So these, shockingly, look no different, but they're not going to for a while. Like, I'm just keeping them alive. Same thing with here. I'm seeing a little bit of growth on these, but not a lot. But everything I've heard is basically just don't kill them, and then when it cools off, you'll have peppers and tomatoes up until frost. Now, my Cherokee purples aren't growing very quickly, which is fine, that's expected, but somehow my beefsteak tomatoes are starting to get some height on them, especially these two plants. So I don't have like a ton of expectations around this in terms of like a timeline. I'm just kind of impressed it's doing as well as it is in light of the heat. That was a pleasant surprise this week. These are my Kajari Melons. They are doing phenomenally. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you are in a similar climate that I am, I'm in Austin, Texas, I'm in zone 8B. These things thrive in the heat. So keep your soil a little bit dry. I do it deep watering every couple of days just because it is so hot, but they do so well. You'll see I've got a ton of flowers and this thing is just climbing. You'll also see here, I have a little baby Kajari melon. And then I also have one right there. We're getting somewhere. So those have both shown up this week. This California Giant Zinnia is officially substantially taller than I am. And we've got several bloomings. That's my first bloom. It's very like a light pink. That is my newest bloom. And then this one really started to bloom. It started to open up day before yesterday. And then yesterday it really started to show some color. And then just today it looks like this. So from what I've learned, once they start, they really open quick. Like you'll see this one's starting to open. And then I also have one here on the side of this big eye that's starting to open. So just within a couple of days, they'll open up. It's pretty awesome. And then my sunflowers, I think are about the same height they have been. I don't really know what's going on with them. It's okay. I'm gonna skip this growth real quick. I'll talk to you about the newness here in a second. I just wanna show you, I kind of wanna show you what's been going on with all the current stuff. These are my sugar baby watermelons. They're doing really, really well. I did a deep water yesterday and they're just doing so nicely. And I'm starting to see a lot more pollinators, so I'm hopeful. You'll see tons more flowers. They're definitely getting some more height on them. This one, I mean, like we're doing okay, right? So I'm pretty optimistic. These are my rainbow bell peppers. Same thing. They're not dead, but they're also stunted. So I'm just keeping them alive, and then hopefully, with any luck, I'll have bell peppers once it isn't balls hot outside. These are my yellow moon and stars watermelons. They're doing pretty normal. I mean, like, whatever. Again, like I'm getting a little bit more height. I'm getting some curls coming off of this guy. But again, like it's okay. My blackberries, I think, are in repair mode, which is good. And then these are my grapes. These are Concord grapes, although I don't harvest off of them because I didn't plant them. And honestly, it's one of those things where I don't really need to grow this, but they're already here and they're nice, so I'm just gonna keep it. But I don't know enough about them, and I'm kind of occupied with other stuff that I haven't really ventured into the territory of it yet. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying not right now. Okay, so I wanna show you what I've planted new this week. You'll notice we've cleared off the beast. He trimmed this. It's because I'm allergic to it. So I had originally planned, I had talked about this before, I had planned to have the beast kind of just go left. And then I decided against that because I had an allergic reaction and I didn't know what I was reacting to. I thought we had like poison ivy. Turns out one of the things in this is Virginia creeper, and that is a cousin to wisteria. I am allergic to wisteria. Apparently I'm also allergic to Virginia creeper. So I was on Zyrtec for a while. I'm okay now. But I do take a Zyrtec now when I'm out here because I definitely do notice the impact. I've totally heard it myself in my videos when I'm just talking. I can tell my allergies are acting up. So I'm blaming this guy, but I'm sure it's other stuff too. Okay, so the 17-foot expanse that I had planned on having this thing navigate, I might still have the grapevine navigate the top. Don't know. But what I did, these blue flowers, these like blue kind of hydrangeas, they're my neighbors. They just popped through the fence. So I have no control over them. But what I did do is I planted a bunch of Turkish poppies there. I planted black peony poppies there. You'll see I marked. I planted Afghan poppies there and Turkish poppies there. So I'm kind of, I have no intention on harvesting opium, but I've got a lot of poppies happening. But it's gonna be really pretty. I also think the colors will complement really well back here. And especially with like the jungle situation I've got, I don't know, I've got really, I kind of like the idea of it being messy but on purpose and colorful and cool and kind of like that juxtaposition. I really like contrast, so I think it'll look cool. Okay, so if I turn around, if you remember how basically heavily weeded these beds were, this is what I did yesterday. I basically put my AirPods in, I listened to the Chicks Gaslighter for like 3 hours, and I just went to town. So I weeded this whole bed and that whole bed, and I planted a whole bunch of seeds. I think I planted 1,000 seeds yesterday. The poppies went in the day before yesterday. So back there, I've marked, I've got red drum and phlox seeds, which are really pretty red flowers. Those are there. Then I've got blue bachelor button. Then I've got a peppermint stick zinnia, California giant zinnia. Then we go back to the red drum and phlox. So I think it'll be like red, blue, multicolor red, and I think that'll look cool. And then to kind of conclude this circle, I've got mammoth Russian sunflowers. They're gonna be huge. I think with how much green there is right here and all, like, I don't know, I have this vision in my head and I think it'll look really good. It'll be unexpected, but I think it'll look really good. So that's what is in this bed. Now, to the right of this guy, I have apricot, peony, aster, and I've got it from the rock back to the trunk, to the tree. There's that. I've got this money plant. It's called a lunaria, I think, but it's a money plant. Beautiful. They're kind of like a silvery colored, really cool toned, but they're beautiful. Anyway, so apricot, then those, and then I've got this pink peony aster there. So I think the colors will look really pretty. It'll be different, but it'll work. And especially with how that, like the tone of that plant and just like because that gets much more sun than this does because of this tree, I think it's gonna work. These plants require more shade. Those require more sun. Anyway, I know I'm like moving because I got weeding I gotta do and it's hot. Yeah, so apricot, money, pink peony aster, and then I've got Zen Master Zinnias that I replanted up in here. They had died because of the weeds and B Adelaide. So I've got to break Adelaide of her habit of coming in here. This is so low to the ground, it kind of like invites her in. She likes it just to kind of walk on and investigate. She doesn't like roll in it, but still. I planted pumpkins last Sunday and I'm already seeing some growth. So I was telling him this, I'm thinking because it's so hot, I don't want to plant a lot of food right now because it's really hard for that to grow. I'm kind of at a bit of a standstill in terms of space for food. I can fix that though. I can remedy that pretty quick. But what I was thinking was, well, I've got beds, so I can plant flowers since I have seed and then just sort it out, right? So that's what I'm doing. And then I figure maybe at the beginning of the month, I'll plant my my second summer garden, fall garden, whatever. But my pumpkins are doing great. My ginger's doing really well. My green onions are doing pretty good. Like everything's okay. My herbs are doing way better. So I've kind of learned a few things. Primarily, when you plant, fertilize when you plant. I think that has made the biggest difference. So I use that Espoma liquid fertilizer. I posted it at my garden haul. I'll link that somewhere. But no kidding, like that thing really does work. I really recommend it. It's like 15 bucks off Amazon. It's totally worth the money. I did it in my herb gardens and my cilantro and my cinnamon basil. My cinnamon basil had like a 115-day harvest cycle and it's like insane right now. Yeah, man, like do it. Just do it. But I know I'm not supposed to fertilize the food that's currently growing. Like you're kind of supposed to lay off for July. So anything new I planted I fertilized, but I haven't re-fertilized anything in July. And then the other thing is I haven't planted anything tropical. Like I have plumeria, but I haven't planted it. I just don't quite know what I would do with it right this second. So I've held off on it, you know, because you kind of have to, you got to have an idea of what you're doing because it's technically a zone higher than what I'm in. So I really need to put it somewhere intentionally so it'll thrive. But like, God, isn't that so awesome looking? Loving it. And this makes me so much happier. It's not just like this decrepit weed wasteland. No. Don't go in there. You are a good girl. You do actually listen really well. I'm proud of you. She's moody as shit because she's 12, but she listens. Same. And I'm gonna weed the front because he really wants to get this like rock xeriscaping thing done. I had thought about, we have like corn growing there right now, like shit corn, like corn you don't want to eat because of really crappy bird seed that the people who lived here before us had like thrown there, not thinking about it, and then it was like growing and he's like, oh hell. So my thoughts are, at first I was like, I could just grow artisanal corn. Like I have heirloom corn I can grow. And Jeremy's like, no. And then I thought about growing pampas grass. And I think he's just kind of like, I don't really want anything there. So I'm just gonna xeriscape that whole thing. So I've got to weed and we've got to clean out the rock and do that whole process. So I think that'll be like this weekend, next week, maybe next weekend, depending on time. Compost is doing better. So I think the heat's helped with that, and I also just think we're officially at that point in time because that thing was new. Maybe it took longer, I don't know, but it is making headway. It had gone down pretty substantially, and I just threw all the weeds that I had pulled. I filled up my whole wheelbarrow and threw it in and filled it right back up. But that's good news, right? Like, because that was stressing us out for a while. Not like 2020 level stress out, but just one of those, why is this hard? That's what's going on. I'm sorry this week has been, you know, pretty much this, but we've got the kids, and it's always, I've said this before, it's always tough to vlog with the kids here. And yeah, so I mean, this is basically what I've been doing a lot, is just putting seeds in the ground or prepping the ground or tending to stuff. I don't know, I feel like everybody I watch who gardens, they're all saying like, you know, they're all either harvesting, which I'm not, but I've got growth. So I'm just kind of tending and I'm adjusting, because I do know with the heat, the water needs are different now. So a lot of it is just me coming out here multiple times a day, or prepping the tending, you know, just babying stuff. Yeah, oh, I'll tell you something else I gotta do today. I just realized this. We have a sprinkler head right there that I need to clear that whole area out and like really clean it up because it's broken. I'll do that today, because why not? I tell you what, I have noticed with the flowers, with the increase in flowers, my pollinator count. I think this is the other thing I've learned. Oh, I have pollinators now. You know, I'm at that point where like I'm seeing growth because I planted flowers. They're attracting pollinators. I don't know if I'm totally right on this or not, but I feel like just with the timing of everything, it makes so much sense. I'm getting way more action from pollinators because I've got so many more flowers. And I'm thinking there's got to be something to that, right? Whether it's my flowers or the neighbor's flowers or whatever. But we're seeing way more. And it's just been in the last like week or so. So I think it's because of all the other growth. It would make sense. I don't know. But it's one of those things where you keep it in your mind for later, because you're like, if this is so, like, this is why you companion plant. And this is, you know, it's just cool. It's cool when you actually do it versus just reading about it or seeing somebody else do it. But when you actually do it and you see it in real time, it's awesome. So I'm gonna put some headphones in and get to work. And I'll see y'all next week with hopefully even more progress. And I've got a bunch of stuff showing up. So I'll haul. You'll see like a little bit of a haul. Don't get too excited. Like, it's still Rona. I don't have anything cool happening. My birthday's not for, I think, 2 weeks or something like that. 3 weeks? 2? I don't know. Whatever. My birthday's August 5th. Whenever that is. And then I've got a bunch of videos I've got planned. I was supposed to do this week, but I couldn't because of kiddos, so I'll do it next week. So you'll see a whole bunch. When this goes up, just expect to see my... if you're subscribed and you got the bell on, you're going to get a bunch of notifications. If y'all are gardening, let me know how it's going for you. If you've had success, if you've had problems, like what your struggles are. I want to know. I've heard a lot of people say the weather this year has really thrown their like normals off. So, but I definitely love this. And it is kind of funny because it makes me like want to re-landscape this house, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to be here next year, so I can't, you know, I can't. But I'm like, oh, I could do like pockets here or pockets there, do whatever. So, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.